right, we are back for another amazing week on the Wise Guys BBQ Podcast, St. Patrick's Day edition. And I am so glad to be sitting here with my best friend, Vin Picaro, the right side, the strong side. I'm Charlie, the left side. And we got a lot of fun stuff to do today. And Vin, I noticed you got a little St. Patty's Day thing going on here.
I do. We got a little theme going on. St. Patty's Day, guys. Look at all the green. Love this time of year. I mean, I think finally we're getting out of the coldest part of this winter. I see a lot of melting going on out there. It's 70 degrees out there. I'm loving it. And, you know, it brings your birthday around because you are one of those St. Patty.
One of the blessed.
You're
Me and your brother.
So happy birthday, soon to be next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday is D-Day.
Congrats.
Thank you, sir.
16, right? Or 61. I forget. I get that backwards all the time.
I'm 60.
All right, good. We'll go 16.
I quit at 60. I didn't think I was going to get that far.
This time of year is awesome. We've been looking. I don't know if guys, you've been following us on the cooking channel. You know, we've been suffering inside. We're like almost out of ideas. Tommy is like, please, can we just dig the goddamn smoker out?
Chomping at the bit to get outside.
We'll shovel it out. We'll airlift some Marines in here that can carry it out for us. So hopefully next couple of weeks we'll get out there for sure. But it's just a great time of the year with St. Patty's upon us. And, you know, I mean, we talked about your birthday. We talked about what's going on. You guys been watching the cooks? Did you see any of the cooks, Charlie?
I haven't. I always follow Tommy and see what shenanigans he's up to. And the corned beef brine I really liked. Yes. I don't know why I really liked it, but I liked it.
Well, it's so traditional,
a little
right?
Different.
Yep. So last week you guys saw the corned beef hash drop already, and then you probably saw already, because this will come out after it, his corned beef cook. So he'll do like a boiled dinner with it. So that's going to be fantastic. You got to check that out, and that's going to lead into some pastrami down the road in the future.
Oh, you're killing me.
Yeah, after Easter, right? So,
well, a quick word about the boiled dinner, man. It seems so simple and so easy, but boy, if you don't do the corned beef right, it comes out like the rubber on the bottom of your sneaker.
Yes.
You know, it should be nice and cut easy. It shouldn't fall apart completely, but it shouldn't be like cutting a steak either.
Right.
You know, you got to find that nice medium area. And, you know, some people get it and some people don't. That's one of those experimental things. The more you do it, the better you get
I think a lot of it comes down to the brine, because some folks are doing the brine with the salt brine, which is a quicker brine. And sometimes you go quick with that, right? If you go too fast in the water, or you go too fast with the brine, it can be a little, like you said, a little rubbery. But Tommy's little workaround there is he uses celery powder, so it's a little longer brining time, but it's a lot different in the brine. And you know why it's a boiled dinner, right?
Because you put it in water and boil it.
Yeah, but originally, during the festivities of St. Patty's Day in Ireland, the English would send a lot of meat cuts to the Irish villages, families, whatever, and there was a surplus of beef, and there was actually too much beef to keep cool with ice and ice boxes, so they would have to go out, take this beef, and they would brine it. And then when it came time to cook it, to get that brining taste out, they would boil it. And that is definitely a trick. That's something that Tommy was struggling with in his cook, because you have to be able to, boil the meat and get that saltiness out of the meat, but you don't want to get that same water for your vegetables, which I always felt, I put everything together. The cabbage, the carrots, the potatoes always went in together. And that kills it, because that makes all your vegetables too salty. So he had to work around with that, and it came out. He nailed the vegetables. I want to say maybe the brisket was a little on the salted side, which I love anyway, so it wasn't too salty for me. Yep. But
salting is a back in the day when you wondered how without refrigeration that they stored meat like that. Yeah, salted meat, salted beef, salted pork.
That was the only way to keep it
in barrels. That's the way you kept it fresh.
Sure,
and it kept for kept for months.
The Italians did the same thing with all their cold cuts, right? They have the supersada and the gabagool. They had all that. Gabagool. That was all their fall items that during the they had so much of it in the fall that they couldn't keep it fresh during the winter unless they preserved it. So they would do the same thing. They'd salt it, case it, and hang it. Can't be frozen. It can't be hot. It's got to be something before 40 and 50 degrees, and then there you go. You get some awesome preserved meats. But I got a little surprise for you. I wanted to keep the celebration going. So I have a little reactionary video.
Oh, really?
That I compiled for you.
Awesome.
And it's fun. I mean, if some of it is a reflection of the St. Patty's, parades and celebrations. I try to aim for all Boston. Some of it might be not in Boston. You can point that out to me because
sure.
I'm not
my best.
I'm not a What's a Magellan? But
magician?
No, not a magician. There was a guy that traveled the world. Magellan, right? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was. So you can point that out for me. But I want to show this to you, and I want we can talk about it as we go. I'm going to throw it up on the side of the screen. So, John, if you'll indulge us. There we go. So look, we sign off at your favorite bar.
Love that joint.
Charlie's Bar. And these girls are great doing their Celtic dance. That's what they call it. Step dancing?
Irish step dance. Yep. Yeah, and we all make fun of this. This is so hard. It's so much practice.
There was one celebrity.
You gotta be in shape too, man.
Wasn't there one celebrity that made this famous?
Oh, that was that guy that did river dance. Michael, I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, he was awesome. All right,
that's Chicago.
That's Chicago. Okay. They turned the river green. Let's see. We're in Boston.
Look at that.
Look at this. Is nuts. These people. So my son being a Boston PD, he actually gets to work this when he wants to. This would be a good day to work. If you're out with these crowd right here, that's a good day. But
looks like a 1960s bra burning celebration.
So he just got cleared to go back to full duty after like 5 months, and
this is what he wants to break in with?
This is what he wants to do. He's like, yeah. He goes, I want to go to the parade. I don't want to be in the. I guess it's a lot worse to be in the station during the parade than it is on the street. So he's going to do that.
I imagine it might be pretty busy in the old Hooskow.
Well, no. What happens is he told me. He said every female around the precinct comes in and gets to use the bathroom. So he's got to sit there and push the bathroom. He's like a bathroom warden for. Yeah, exactly. So instead, he'll be out there hopefully meeting McGregor again. I don't know if he'll be there. Oh, this is good. This is UMass Amherst. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Look at that crowd.
They said 2,000 people, I think. That's nuts.
I can remember just going from house to house at PC on St. Patty's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody had a kegger.
So you bring up a funny story. So my brother, I'm lucky enough to have had a brother he's passed now. He was Patrick Joseph, born on St. Patrick's Day, but because my family wasn't sure if it was going to be St. Joseph's or St. Patrick's, they gave him, it was going to be Joseph Patrick or Patrick Joseph. He ended up being a Patrick Joseph. And we were with him a couple of years. Both Chip and I worked with him and were friends with him, of course, for me. But Chip was good friends with my brother as well. And we would go, to like bars. It didn't matter if it was an Irish bar. It just mattered if it was a bar. And he would walk in and be like, I'm Patrick and I want to drink on St. Patty's Day. And everybody would say, no way. And he would pop his license, even though he was probably 40 at the time.
And there was one or two times where it's St. Patty's Day and it's 11 o'clock and he looks at me and goes, you ready to go? And I go, yeah. Vin, we're leaving.
Yep. Let me put down my Egg McMuffin and my coffee and let's go drinking.
Yeah. Okay. Your brother was a piss.
Yeah. So that is and then to round it all off, keeping it the Wise Guys tradition, Tommy the Butcher's wife is born on St. Patty's Day. So we all have a direct connection. No one more than Chip, but yeah. So. It's got to be a blast. So I don't know. Let's see. We got some more here.
Well, unfortunately, I think the weather's going to be like 40 degrees by
It's
St.
going to cool
Patty's
down
Day.
a little bit. Who gives a shit? We go to that. What's the name of that bar?
O'Rourke's.
O'Rourke's.
Tuxedo Village has live music starting early.
So at least we'll know the weather because we go there every year with the sun's out. It's beautiful. It's like 2, 3 o'clock. We said we'll go grab something.
T-shirt on.
T-shirt on. Maybe a sweater in the car. And then all of a sudden it's 40 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah. And we can't sit there anymore. But we stick it out.
There we go.
All right, here you go. This is Charlie having his Irish lunch.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
It's not St. Patty's Day.
All right, here's some history.
Ever wonder why the Irish cringe when you say St. Patty's Day? It's St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't know
or
this
Patty
until I
for
put
short.
this film together.
And there's a beautiful reason why. Patty is short for Patricia. Patty is short for Padraig, the Irish form of Patrick.
I didn't know any of this.
In Ireland, we call it Lá Ile Padraig,
They used to call
the
my
Feast
brother
of Patrick.
O'Shea.
The name
I thought
Padraig
was
has survived over 1,500
Irish
years
for Patrick.
through invasions,
I'm wrong.
through language shifts, through generations of Irish families determined to keep their heritage alive. When Irish immigrants came to
This is
America,
cool.
they brought Patty with them.
Yeah.
It became a badge of identity,
I didn't know St.
a connection to
Patrick's
home,
was
a way to
Roman
say we're still Irish no matter where we are.
Well,
Today, when you say Patty instead of Patty, you're honoring that unbroken
he was
chain.
in Ireland.
You're
okay?
celebrating
He
a name that
booted
traveled
out of
across
Ireland for some
oceans and
reason.
through centuries.
Okay.
Ended up in
St.
Rome
Patrick's Day
and
isn't just
became a
about
Christian.
shamrocks and
Okay.
parades.
And then came back
It's
to
about
Ireland
a people who
and
never forgot who they
is
were.
credited
So this
with
March the
bringing
17th, say it with
Christianity
pride. St.
to,
Patty's Day, or
to
simply
Ireland.
St.
Yes.
Patrick's Day.
And
It's
so
St.
very famous.
Patrick.
The other thing he's
He
very
was a
famous
good
for
saint.
is,
But it
according to
wasn't
legend, he
great
drove
saint.
all this. There's no snakes in Ireland.
Like the Saint Joseph. the
So according to
patron
legend, he
saint
stood
of
up on a
Italy.
mountain for
He's
40
a
days and
great
ran all the
saint,
snakes
not
out of
just a good saint.
Ireland.
You know, Saint Joseph's name
This
day
is
is
Saint
coming
Joseph's.
up, March 19th,
So-
only 2 days away.
Father Guido
But there won't be
Sarducci,
no parades,
like St. Patty,
no
but
parties,
he
not
says
even a song for
St. Joseph got ripped off.
And the reason is because of Saint Patrick. You know, it's just like having a birthday 2 days after Christmas.
So true.
You just don't get the same attention, you know? And it just breaks my heart that he was a great
love him.
saint.
He's great.
And this good mediocre
So yeah,
saint
what you were
gets
saying
all
is
of the
true.
glory.
So the snake piece came.
Here's some things you
Here it
probably
is.
didn't
This guy
know
will talk
about
about it.
St.
He's a
Patrick's Day.
pagan.
You
And
probably
in
know that
Ireland,
it's a
we're
day
all
to commemorate
pagans. So
the
he brought
passing of
Christianity,
St. Patrick.
and when he drove the
But did you
snakes
know
out,
that
that was in
St.
reference
Patrick
of
was
the
actually
pagans.
credited with
Correct.
bringing
Yeah.
Christianity to Ireland?
Look at
All
that
the way
beard. I
back in
want
the
that
5th
beard.
century.
You think he had it
And you
like?
probably know
like
that
a
the
Viking.
three-leaf clover represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit
know
in the
that.
Christian world. However, did you know before that symbolism, it was actually sacred to the ancient Celts and originally represented the cycle of life and even protection against evil spirits.
So
And
I
you
wonder
probably
if
know
the
that the
four-leaf
color green
clover
is
would
heavily
be
associated
Christ
to
himself.
St. Patrick's Day. But did you know in the
That's why it's
beginning
so
of these
lucky.
traditions that it was actually
Is it
the
three?
fruit that represented St. Patrick's
Father,
Day?
Son, the Holy Ghost. Yeah, I
It's
guess
an
so.
honor and a
So-
pleasure
Okay, well, that didn't work.
for me
Here we
to
go.
be here with you sharing the spirit
Look at
and
that green
festivities
tie.
of St. Patrick's Day.
This guy was class.
The blessed St. Patrick, we're told, died on this day in the year of our Lord, 461.
A long time ago.
And leave it to the Irish to be carrying on a wake for 1,500 years.
I love it.
I want to wish you all out there a very, very happy
All right, here
St.
we go.
Patrick's
Here
Day,
we
the
get to the
patron
real
saint of
stuff.
alcohol. Really. He's the one he invented. Jameson, I think, was St. Patrick. St. Patrick came to Ireland and said, I'm going to get rid of the snakes and let's have a drink.
All right, so did you ever have any of these? It's the Irish flag.
Oh, on the tree.
And I never had that. The baby Guinness I had. But I had it with Bailey's. I didn't have it the way they did it. No, Kahlua. I had Kahlua and Bailey's.
What's that say?
Bailey's. The baby Guinness with
Yeah, yeah.
Bailey's in it. They said coffee liqueur. I had with Kahlua. I never had this. The Irish frog. Bailey's and Midori. Three shots. There's 3 shots we're going to do on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Toast everyone
these
should
are
know, St. Patrick's Day edition. May your troubles be less, but your blessings be more, and may nothing but happiness come through your door. May your neighbors respect you, trouble neglect you, angels protect you, and heaven accept you.
I love it.
May we live as long as we want, and never want as long as we
Cheers.
live. To the nights we'll never remember, with the friends we'll
I
never
love that
forget.
one.
Here's to a long life and a happy one, a quick death and an easy one, a cold pint and another one. May you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you're
And that's
dead.
a great one. Yeah. This guy's great. But I love here's the nights you can't remember with friends you'll never forget. That's awesome. Look at this guy. O'Reilly, of course, right? I don't know. I think he's Boston. I don't know where he's from. But look at this, Guinness, and this is awesome. If I had a dog that would drink with me like this guy, I would have a lot less friends.
That's not this dog's first rodeo. You can tell. He knows.
He's into it, baby. Look at him. There we go. Wait, what do you got there? You got a cookie? Oh, no, I want some of that. But he takes a bite first. I love it.
Hey, that's mine.
That's great. How can he drink on duty like that? He's got a gun. This is
What
great.
the hell am I looking
This
at?
is awesome.
I caught him. I caught that son of a bitch. Dude, I think you're kidding.
I caught him.
Person. Huh? Nah. First of all, I've captured a leprechaun,
is
okay?
hilarious.
You wouldn't say I
What
kidnapped
show is it?
Bigfoot,
Is it a real
right?
show?
You'd say, I
It's always
captured
Sunny in
Bigfoot.
Philadelphia.
Well, that may be true, but leprechauns aren't real. So what we're dealing with here is a little person in a glue trap. Yeah, I thought about that, ruled it out, okay? Because the basement door is locked. So unless he's a being who's unrestrained by the laws of the physical world, he's not getting down here, man. Dude, if he is a human being, he's going to sue the shit out of us. If he's a leprechaun, he's got a pot of gold. Yeah.
That's the good and the bad.
Well, let's not rule one out over the other. I mean, it's very weird that he's down here, right?
In a glue trap.
I caught him.
Oh, that's awesome. So I that was that was more fun for me than I think our audience is going to enjoy because that was great.
Well, you believe in leprechauns, so
Yeah, I do.
There you
Ever
go.
since that, remember in the men's room back then?
yeah, we met him.
So, anyways,
gusto.
thanks for entertaining me, and happy birthday next week. And I hope to be there. I don't know, it's 40 degrees. I don't know, man.
Do your best. What do I do every year? I say I'm going to be here if you
Right.
can make it.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, last year I disappointed you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I
you had
did.
your whole family here, and that was totally
Yeah,
acceptable.
I was lucky. This year that won't happen. It's not lining up with Luke's break this year. I don't even know why he was here last year, to be honest. But he was here and Sonny was here. But Sonny's working. Luke won't be here, so I'm free. It's a Tuesday, right?
It is a Tuesday,
That's great. I'm looking forward to that.
and I don't want to say I'm a drunk or anything, but like every time I get a new GM at the hotel, I tell them,
Yeah,
so St. Patty's Day,
I don't worry.
I'm not going to be here, and they just look at me. I go, "It's not going to happen."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
All
they're
right.
very understanding. So, how exciting is it that a new barbecue season is upon us?
Yeah,
And it's almost like St. Patty's Day is a kickoff to the.
yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it from now on. St. Patty's Day is the official kickoff. to
Kick off the barbecue
the barbecue
competition.
competition season.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And we have a lot coming up, and we also have Wise Guys BBQ team now, don't we, fella?
Yeah, we did. We talked about this a little bit. This has been on our our bucket list.
Yep.
This is something we know we needed to do.
Can I rat you out?
Why?
Because you swore to me
We never do
on
it.
God's green earth that we would never have
do
a
it.
barbecue competition
Right,
team.
right. So,
But you meant you.
but no,
In your defense, you meant you and I could.
I'm not.
do it.
Right. Good point. So I'm
Yeah.
not cooking. Let's just be there. I'm the GM. I put together our dream team, and I'm going to give them all the facility items they need to get that done. But the reason why I thought it'd be a good idea was because your other option you were leaving me was to run a competition, and no, I am not going to get into that because I don't.
This proves to me that you are going to get into it. And someday we will have our own.
You taught me a long time ago, never say never. So I'm not going to say never, but that is not on my bucket list. This was, and mainly because of you, because you've been learning how to cook barbecue. And I know you're not on the dream team, and I don't think you want to be on the dream team, but it encourages me to have a dream team while you're learning as well. It just shows you all different levels of barbecue. You could start day one, or you could be well into it. I mean, we have a dream team.
What's our lineup?
So our lineup is with people, our personnel. We got Bob Bauman from Big Bobby's Q, who is a competitor and will compete.
Veteran.
Yep, a veteran, and will compete this year as well. Tim from LG Barbecue, who is he's a class act. He's been competing for a while. His pork and ribs are right up there with everybody. He gets calls for those items all the time.
Another solid pro.
There's our two anchors, and our newbie in the group, who's been dying to get out there, is Tommy the Butcher, right?
Yep.
Tommy is an avid barbecue guy, a backyard barbecue guy, if you will. I don't think he's sold one item ever, but he cooks a lot for his family. He throws a lot of parties. He's helped Big Bobby's Q do a couple events. And
he brings an encyclopedic knowledge of meat and that you can't just get without the experience that he has.
And culinary expert.
Yep.
So, Bob and Tim have already said, hey, look, we know barbecue. We can cook those 4 meats day in and day out. But when we get to the ancillaries, they could choke, right? Because you got, you might have different items in there, hot dogs, fried chicken wings, the other things that have to be cooked on site in that equipment. That Tommy he's
got a book on those things.
Yeah,
man.
he hones it. Yeah. He hones it in, and once he knows what he wants to do, it's usually something different. It's usually something Wise Guy style, and so I think Tommy's going to definitely head up the ancillary column, and he will definitely be supporting on the meats. I don't know if he'll take a meat. He might. There's 4 meats. They might go 2-1-1. I don't know. They might go 2-2, and Tommy just assist. But we're gonna hear a little bit more about that from the team. And we got we did get the team together to pick our events, which I have here. So June 13 and 14 is Bristol Barbecue Bash in Bristol, Connecticut. That's one of the Campground Series barbecue KCBS sponsored, and Jeremy, our buddy Jeremy over there, is the promoter.
Yep.
That's gonna be our first one right out of the gate. And then we have July 24th, 26th, we have the Rhode Island State Barbecue Championship.
That's Matt's baby.
That's Matt's baby. That's the one he that was his soapbox, his stepping stone, if you will, to launch into CBA, to get all of the other that he does here. First year was just this. Second year was last year. He had gotten 5 or 6 in New England, which he initiated his Triple Crown. And then this year he's having the Triple Crown again. The only thing different is Rhode Island will not be one of the competitions for the Triple Crown. But we wanted to do it because it was Rhode Island. We might be the only Rhode Island team there.
Hey, good.
Well, it is good.
Represent, baby.
Well, it is good because, from what I learned last year is there'll be at least 15 teams there. That's the minimum. I think there'll be more this year than that. And you get a lot of anxiety from Texas, a lot of excitement from those guys wanting to come up here, because don't forget, this is also, if you win this in Rhode Island, because it's the only Rhode Island competition, you can get an auto to the Jack. So it's one of those.
Where that's the only show in town.
It's the only show in town, and what all the competitors like about it is it's light on the attendance. You're not competing against 25, 30 teams. You're competing against 50.
Yeah, your percentages go up.
Exactly. So that's that's exciting, and
that's one of the first things we ever did. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Matt's,
yep. Yeah, 2 years ago, we went to Matt's event.
One of the very first things we
Rhode
did
Island
together.
Barbecue News. We went we brought all the rain. Remember? Yeah. So it was
multiple times.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It would downpour, then be 90 humid degrees, and then downpour, and then be 90 and humid. Yeah. But that, like I said, July 24, 26, which is great. And then this one is just just a wonderful, wonderful event. September 19th, Miller's Crossing. It's a NEBS sanctioned competition. It's definitely a backyard competition. You compete with some New Englanders that are on the circuit. They're doing 20 other competitions a year, and you're also cooking with maybe bar owners and restaurants that are like, they don't do anything but this, because it's a great fundraiser for the Friends of Jake. And it's just
listen,
a lot
Rhode
of fun.
Islanders, if you got a chance to go to Miller's Crossing for this event, it's a great event, and they have a great auction after. Yep. I personally will. I've judged 2 years in a row now. I'm going to judge again this September. Get out there; it's a great experience. Yeah. And you can listen. Sometimes the public is not involved in some of these competitions.
Right.
Miller's, you can walk up to the teams, talk to them, chat them up. It's a great day, and hopefully they get fantastic weather like they did last year.
No, it's a good point. I mean, when you guys go to competitions, public, when I talk about you guys, public folks when they want to learn more about this, they want to go to competitions. You can definitely go, you can walk around. People are real serious about what they're doing in the competition. But unfortunately, you can't get any food at these events. Why? Because a lot of the competitors are not licensed to sell food. They're there for the competition, not to make money. So that ends up being kind of a sore spot for some of the public. But this event has a lunch built in, so that when you pay for your ticket, you get the entry to the event, and you get a great barbecue lunch there. So, and then it's Miller's Tavern, or Miller's Crossing is right.
The bar is downstairs in the main building, and it's a great bar. Go in there and have a cold one.
Oh yeah, because usually September it's 90 degrees, and you're out in the sun, and you're like, I'm gonna go get a beer, and it's like 40 degrees in that bar with the air conditioning, and it's awesome. So you're down there having a great time. So that is a great event for a lot of reasons, and I'm glad we're doing it. And I'm glad we're doing one of each sanctioning group, so we get a little bit of experience in that. And I'm glad they're all early in the season. After that August-September months, I get a little jammed up. But that September one is a Sunday, I believe, so I'll be back for it. So I'll be able to go to all three.
Fantastic.
And another one that we were considering, but I'm letting it stay available for Big Bobby's Q is Cora. So our friends
There's
over
something
at Cora,
special happening at Cora this year. What is it?
Yeah,
it's huge, really.
Well, they got a lot of gratuitous opportunities from different other sanctioning parties, right? They always get they end up being the first official. I'm always wrong when I say this, but I'll say it anyways. First official Jack qualifier for the following year. So even though it's usually in August, it's up in Hiram, Maine. Even though it's in August, that's the first one for the next season of barbecue.
Right,
so
because the Jack's already taken place.
Exactly. So you get to, if you win that, you get to go to the Jack. And now also with that this year, something different for them, and congratulations to those promoters. The Barbecue World Cup has bestowed upon that event to be a qualifier for their event in 2027 for that $1 million prize. So now if you come in first or second, first you get both, second you get Barbecue World Cup opportunity, you get some great stuff. So we wanted to go there anyways, because we have friends. We rub elbows with good people there. Yeah. We love it. And
friends of ours.
Yeah, and it's I love that rib auction that they do.
Yep.
It's just a fun event.
The kids, cooks. I mean, they do.
They also have a People's Choice contest, which gives a lot of folks opportunity to taste some food. So you can go and eat that food. Plus, they have food trucks. Plus, they have a band. So they have a lot going on up there. A beer garden, which I love, and that rib auction is fun. It's a really good time. So. Yeah, that's what's happening in barbecue, just from the beginning stages and from a novice level. Yeah, that's what we know about barbecue so far, and I know every week we're probably going to learn a little bit more. But right now, I can't tell you folks that I don't want to think about barbecue, because I am so excited for next Tuesday. Charlie, I want to be the first, if not, I don't want to be the last. I'll be the first saying happy birthday again. And what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to sitting and having you bring me unending line of Guinnesses and Jameson shots, and having a good conversation with some good friends.
Yes.
And quite a few laughs. We always do. And I always run into people that I haven't seen in a long time. So if you're going, I will be at O'Rourke's early. I don't know where I go after that, because that's what happens. But usually it's... 5 o'clock, my kids come by and pick me up and take me home. So fantastic day. Every year it's been good. I'm just glad I'm here and relatively healthy, and you're here and relatively healthy.
Absolutely.
And, we're making it another year. And I just want to toast something here.
All right. What do you got?
Your brother, Pat, I miss him. And it's always been special. Because he always treated me like a brother, and I miss those days. Okay, and so Pat, wherever you are, God bless you. I'm going to tilt one to you on Tuesday, pal.
For sure.
Adios.
You know who else is going to be drinking with him? My brother Felix just recently joined him.
God, how'd I forget that?
Yeah, so I got my 2 brothers up there. Enjoy.
Salute, Fig.
Talk to you soon.
Did I ever tell you this?
What?
I'm not Irish.
Oh. I knew. I'm glad you told our audience. I didn't know if you're going to.
Not Irish, folks. Scottish. Braveheart, that type of thing. But I didn't know myself till I was like in my 30s.
So what's third grade? Third grade's like 12 years old?
No, it's younger than
10 years old. So I've known this guy since I was 9, 10 years old. And from then till maybe when we were, 45, I thought he was Irish all the time. And it was at one of these cycles going into his birthday, and then he just turned to me and goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, I don't think I told you, I'm not Irish, I'm Scottish." And I was like, "What?" That's the only thing. My son's half Irish, and not even that. But that was my next closest thing to an Irish person.
His world totally unraveled.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just totally unraveled.
I'm glad you told
that. Funny. But yeah, it had to come clean, guys. Sorry. I was off by 150 miles or so. Whatever that ocean is.
Have a great week.